Alrighty, I'm live. Oh, good. I'm so glad somebody's here. Say hi, whoever you are. Okay, well, now. Okay, we'll do that. There we go. All right, we've got a little bit. Maybe I can give it. There you go. There's a little bit more light. Some light. Okay, you know what? We're going to start with a meditation. We are here to talk about. I'm just taking on my wet socks. So it's been. Let me make sure my microphone's plugged in and close by. There we go. It's been a busy day. And it's also been a downpour, crazy rainy day here on the Pacific Northwest coast of California. And it's like, we have a little bit of spring happening, obviously. We have is some summer weather that happens at the end of January, early February, that makes you really think like we could just jump to summer and that winter's pretty much over. And then we have a really rainy season, and it's just like, it just teases you enough and is nice enough really in the early winter and the end of winter that you almost forget that you have to deal with all this rain, and that this rain is going to just keep pushing summer back. And even in the summer, that there's going to be some really foggy days where you need to take your vitamin D. And that's a drag. We're at the precipice of this. I mean, we are in this crazy astrological season of transformation with the changeover happening to Aries, where you might be feeling a little more of that fiery energy. I am a Venus. My Venus is in Aries, and my mom, my dad and my sister are both Aries, both really challenging relationships for me. More recently with my dad, and though we're all like healed in forgiveness now, and a lot of my life with my sister. We have 2 eclipses happening. That blood moon revealed some sort of transformation that you're trying to make. And that's what this container is about. So I'm just going to guide a meditation, and I'm going to give you some information through guiding a meditation. So closing the eyes. If you're sitting, rooting, or standing, rooting either through your bottom or your feet into the earth. Just letting your roots grow into the earth. Allowing your spine to be vertical and erect. And that rooting energy, as it reaches down and sends down into the earth, it also reverberates up through every cell in your body, through all of the capillaries and veins and the web-like infrastructure of the circulation of your body, all the way up through your thighs, your glutes, your pelvis, your belly. Let's take a moment and place the hands on the womb. And just see if you can get a sense for that womb energy. Sometimes we feel completely cut off from the womb, and that's okay. But see if you can focus on it and notice it there now. See if you can feel your hands on the surface of the womb. Surface of the belly, you can rub the belly. When you breathe, I want you to feel that belly expand. If your hands are on your belly, I want your hands to go out when you breathe. And just like relax your jaw, shake off any tension in your jaw and your shoulders. Shake it all out. Relax any need to prove, any need to please. any need to be anything other than who you are and where you are right now in this moment. Breathing in, if it feels good, you can stretch your arms out wide and reach them up to the sky. Reaching out as you breathe down and stretching through your fingers, taking up a lot of space. Breathing in, stretching out, opening wide. Whatever movements you need to make to come into your body and to shake off any tension that you're feeling in the outer body or the inner body. Just wiping off tension. Taking a moment to place your hands on your heart and connect with your heart. The Divine Feminine is here. She is real. She sees you. She loves you. She even is you. And then opening your hands up, palms facing the sky, and just opening your palms, open to receive. I am open to receive. The divine energy descends upon you. You are purified and blessed. You are open to receive. And taking all of this energy that you've gathered up in your palms, just give yourself a little blessing by caressing the crown of your head, just running your fingers through your hair. You can kind of wipe the dirt out of your third eye, like windshield wipers with your fingers. And then also take your hands and just outline that connection between the heavens above and the crown of your skull. And let that energy just transfer through you, all the way through your feet, your roots, and into the earth. Feel how strong and vertical you are. Feel like there's a field of energy surrounding your body that emanates from the core of you. And feel how you are protected in this field of energy. It's centered and insulated. And then you can slowly start to blink your eyes open, glance around, taking some moments to look around before you come back to the screen. And I would love to know any questions that you have about this container, or about me, or about the meditation that we just did, or about the astrology. Not that I'm an expert in astrology, but the Mercury retrograde feels like forces against me trying to get this course out to more women. And I have felt like forces against me in my transformation of being a helpless little girl and feeling like a victim, but also faking that I felt that and putting on a complete mask for so much of my life, to this empowered level of bringing this divine feminine energy to other women. Not that like you don't already have it, and not like you can't get it yourself, but just to help you become aware of the crap that's in your container right now that's interfering. So this is why it seems like everything's coming together, and then one thing goes haywire and it didn't work, or something always goes haywire, or something always comes up. It's like we have to be so strong, and we have to be so clear, so grounded, and so rock solid. And that means nothing can be left unturned. Nothing can be hidden within us. It all needs to be clear. And then connecting you, teaching you how to access this divine energy. What does it feel like? How does it work? You know, for example, the container, I was planning to start on Saturday. And instead, I was able to experience this weekend resting, releasing, relief, I use those words because those are exactly what I knew I needed to experience. But this idea of resting in order to receive, that is not what we're taught. This idea of relief and embodying relief and what that feels like, and finding a way to not be this chaotic, worried, grasping, controlling version of us that's stressed out all the time and late and afraid of everything and maybe jumps 10 feet in the air every time there's a loud noise. And really embodying ease or embodying groundedness, like trading anxiety, like having anxiety become optional in the first place because it doesn't feel like much of a choice or something we have much power over. And when you can get that energy out of your life, not that it won't come up, but it's not like your main mode and it's not controlling you as much. You have sovereignty over it. You just land, and you're just so much more who you were always meant to be. That's such a powerful thing. That's such a beautiful thing. It's like, for me, I'm like, oh, I don't have to, like, it's, there are thoughts sometimes that I used to have, like, I have to go, like, cram, like, as if I'm preparing for an exam before I talk to somebody or have a session or a consultation with somebody. Everything I know, like I, like, there just wasn't trust. There wasn't presence, and there wasn't empowerment, like knowing that who I am is enough, and what I know, I don't have to recite everything I've ever learned and figured out. That's ridiculous. And that's what's so beautiful about things like this and this container that I've created, the Divine Feminine Energy Cultivation Container, which I continue to add words to. It's up to 6 now. Started at 4. It actually started at 2. Originally, it was my flagship course 10 years ago, Goddess Alchemist. And it was me and one other woman. And this is a revamp of it. And I started with the Feminine Energy Container. So it started with 3. So it went from 2 to 3. Then it went to 4, the Feminine Energy Cultivation Container. Now I have the Divine Feminine Energy Cultivation Container. We're at 5. That's where we're at. I think that's a good number. 7's okay, but I think we should stick with 5. So the beauty of a container like this is that it's a transmission, that I am serving as a conduit to share this energy with the container and to share this energy with you, and to also help you to bring this energy up in yourselves as your own source of conduit. And so my intelligence, anything I've learned in the past, anything I know how to do, it doesn't really matter, because in connection, there's so much more available, actually. And there's so much truth that can flow through my connection to you and through our commitment to this process and doing this together, just coming together to do this thing that is sorely needed in our world, this thing that I've been trying to do on my own, up against so much resistance for so long, that I have, like, been embattled going on this journey, trying to get to the point where I am now. And I'm still being battled. It's still like, okay, the divine warrioress archetype in me, who I just saw this morning, she was like wearing like a green corset kind of superhero like costume, like, because like it was like a corset or a gown of like this beautiful green, emerald, and gold, but it was a warrioress uniform. It was probably made of leather, something tough. And she had some sort of sword, I think. she needs to put her foot down and say, no, like, I'm claiming this. Like, you're not going to push me back again. You're not going to send me into a spiral of self-doubt that I might lose a day to, or like really a month of progress, or like really like a year or 10 years of my life to. Like, no, you know, and like, yes, fear, you're going to be there, you know? And I mean, one of the bigger transformations that I've had is, as far as manifestation and embodying the energy that you need to be in, it's like being okay. You can't have, you know, some of these books you'll read and people you'll listen to, you think you can't have the wrong thought. You can't say the wrong words. I used to not open my mouth because I didn't want to say something I didn't want to manifest. You know, if you know, it was just very isolating and painful, and it kept my woundedness in. So one of the more recent major transformations that I've made is just like trying not to buy into it, but letting it be there. If it's going to come up, it's going to be there, because when we fight it and we're so attached to it, we're giving it, you know, so much power, and it's such a threat to us, then we must believe it. It's like, you know, you're not supposed to be 100% confident and fearless. Fear is going to be there. We live in a very fearful realm, but we're not supposed to be brainwashed and hypnotized and conditioned by this realm solely. And we're not just supposed to keep hustling and forcing like our dads and our husbands taught us how to do, like good little soldiers, to get what we want and to live the life that we're meant to live. So that's what this container is. The first class is awareness. So that's awareness of what the divine feminine and the divine masculine is, because they are counterparts, because the harmonization of the two of them is God. It's everything. Like, there is no duality ultimately, but that's the first duality, is masculine and feminine. And this toxic paradigm that we've been living in, that you have not been thriving in, if you're anything like me, is what I consider the distorted masculine. And so we need to clear all of our habits and patterns and compulsions that are still linked to the distorted masculine, that we learned from dads who were overprotective, and so they tried to scare us. Dads who didn't have emotional vocabulary or the comfort with deep connection and emotionality and expression of emotion to say, I'll just use myself as an example. Erica, I love you. What you have is so precious. You're so precious, and you're so valuable, but also your fertility is so valuable. And I don't want it to be spent in a casual way or willy-nilly with the next whatever he could have said, instead of, you're not allowed to date. You're not, you know, you're acting like a slut, you know, you're like, so they, sometimes out of protection, people will try to control us, or they will try to make us afraid. It's better to have, you know, I felt a lot like a princess locked in a tower for a lot of my life. It's better to have the princess safe, even if you're keeping her out of empowerment in life, according to what has been known as the king in this paradigm that we've been raised in. This container, the divine feminine energy cultivation container, is a beautiful space where this clearing can take place of everything that you were conditioned to believe about yourself, and everything that all these patterns that you do automatically to help cope and to prove yourself to be perfect, to create some sort of protection for yourself. these attachments, this love that you so desperately want, this abundance and this luxury and this beauty that you so desperately want, but that the more that you hold on to these things, the more that they just disappear. This container is to get rid of all of those patterns, to become aware of the divine masculine and the divine feminine energy, and also aware of your own unconscious patterns, and clear it out and make space for your inner king and inner queen to rise. You're the container. This container is filled with love and divine feminine energy, and the masculine, whether it's within you, whether it's the sun, whether it's a king in your life, whether it's money, whatever form of masculine, healthy masculine you want to harmonize with, is what collects and organizes and soothes and allows the power of your divine feminine energy. And she's fierce too, and ferocious, and extremely powerful in her own right. There's something I was writing that I don't want to share because it's for part 2 or part 3. The third class is only going to be revealed within the container. The container is 3 sessions. They're meant to be an hour, probably be an hour and a half long. My sessions one-on-one are usually about 75 minutes. This will be a little different because I'll be doing some teaching, like presenting, whereas in a one-on-one coaching session in a coaching container, we would more be doing coaching. And so anyway, I'll do the teaching, and then we will do a meditation. And in my coaching container, we also do a meditation, which everything that's come up, everything that was blocking you, or everything that needed to be implanted in a deep way, we go into this nonlinear space of meditation that's also connection with divine and connection with full power, to really sink that work in. So that's what I do in my meditations, and that's what we'll be doing in each of the classes, each of the 3 sessions. And then we will do coaching, live coaching. It's a small group of lovely, beautiful, beautiful, like-minded women who are there to support each other, who are there to hold space for you, even if you haven't felt safe in a group or being seen or with women before. We're there to heal exactly those types of issues. We're there to go through this potent time of transformation astrologically, starting with the blood moon on Friday, going through spring equinox. This Thursday is when it actually is. And it was a lunar eclipse with the blood moon, and we're going for a solar eclipse with the new moon, I think. I'm not exactly sure what date. It's transitioning into Aries season from Pisces to Aries. There's going to be some cool stuff we do with a lot of things. We're going to do some really cool divine feminine, divine masculine manifestation practice. Some of my clients know what that is already. We're going to do assignments, and we're going to do coaching, and we're going to do all aspects of the divine feminine, the moon, and we're going to dive into the underworld, and we're going to turn over those rocks, and we're going to release what's been hiding and what's ready to be exposed, to be seen, and to be released. We're going to do a lot of pleasure, and that's not just sexual. And we're not going to be doing sexual pleasure per se, but a lot of women only understand pleasure as sexual, but just like pleasure and fun and different types of exploration, different types of assignments, coaching, support, transmission, activation, cultivation, creating this beautiful container. allowing this transformation. It's ushering in this transformation that you've been working towards for a long time. This transformation that like, I want to post this on Instagram and I haven't posted it. I haven't found it yet, but like, you're here. You're here. Okay. So this transformation that you've been working on for a long time, you've been feeling like giving up more than ever. And this divine feminine energy cultivation container is this beautiful, blessed, contained energetic space for that transformation to finally roll over the top, the very last resistance, so that you can start your downhill descent and experience things like relax to receive, rest to receive. But like I said, the divine feminine is also ferocious, also intense. There are a lot of aspects, and we're going to address all of them. If you have any questions, please put them in the chat. The questions I've had are, I'd love to give you, let's see if I can give you the link if you want to just sign up. Hi, Molly. Oh, that's a great question. There's the link. It's your choice. You determine what you would pay on the sliding scale. So it's 55 to 77. You determine what feels right for you and take into consideration whatever factors you need to take into consideration. That's what determines it. It's like, and make the payment differently than you've made any payment before. Make the payment knowing that you're going to get probably like, let's just say 100-fold. I mean, 10-fold seems too low. What's 100-fold? Is that 5,558? You're going to get at least that much value. And let the payment be an energetic exchange, a gift of energy that you have come to gather and acquire, that you're now investing in a place that you find worthy and that you trust to increase the value of your investment. And if making investments is stressful, if spending money is stressful, if it's something that you kind of like, I don't know, disconnect from, or you get anxiety around, do whatever you can to just like do it different, to make it nice for you. Have a cut flower nearby or light a candle. That reminds me, for the course, you're going to need a journal. You're going to need a white candle, preferably something that you can leave burning that won't be a fire hazard. So those white candles that come in a glass, you can get them at the dollar store. That could be really useful. And there'll be more like little things, berries and fruits involved. There are some rituals that I'll teach in the container. And also, I need to know your time zone, and if I would say 3 p.m. on Wednesday, if that works for you. And you'll need Telegram for the group support. So yes, that kind of answers the question that I was going to ask, which is if it's just 77 for the whole course or if that's for each session. And as I mentioned in the email that I sent out earlier, I'm going to, when I do another group container, I'll be structuring it differently. I noticed as I started doing this, I decided to do this just to try this. This is just an experiment. This is just an offering. This is the most affordable thing I could offer. This price really didn't come from some sort of calculation based on, what I could afford to offer, or what I thought the value was. Like, it was just really like something I was called to do. But I don't think that I do think that there is so much value here that I will structure it differently the next time I do it. And that doesn't take away from this offering whatsoever, but I do highly recommend getting in and getting all of this value at this price right now. Because yes, the question that I got was, is this an each session price or is this the whole thing? I mean, a month-long container with coaching and support and multiple sessions costs a lot more. My guess is that it would literally compute out based on how I charge to be about $558 if I just sold it for what it was. And the value that you'll get from this is even more. So thank you for that question. And I'm just presenting the other version of that question that I got. The other question is, when will the sessions be? And they're going to be in the perfect timing and the perfect alignment for everybody in the container so that we can all get the most out of it. If you do have to miss a session, there will be a recording and it will be released within 24 hours of that session, and you can still get what you need from the group at any time. Any other questions? I'm trying to think what other questions I've received. I've received the question about being uncomfortable with women, which I kind of covered, which is totally understandable if you've been in groups of women where there's been a lot of gossip or teasing. If women have felt uncomfortable with you or made you feel uncomfortable, or you've been hurt by women, you've been misunderstood by women, you've not felt like you could trust women or that you were safe with women, then entering a group of women can be intimidating. And maybe you're not used to safe women. And you've managed to attract women and groups of women that are really triggering to all of your unconscious wounds. This is totally different. And the awareness is there to make this a healing experience for those types of wounds. And we are going to do certain things in which class is it that we're going to do healing about that? Kind of just slipped my mind what I was even thinking. Oh, that class 3. We're going to do specific work in class 3 that's going to be particularly healing for those kinds of wounds. Just like the kind of thing, it's all this stuff is like the kind of thing that you don't even know that you need healing for. It's just like you think like, I'm just the kind of person who doesn't turn my camera on Zoom. Like, I'm just like that, but you don't really realize like that there's a lot there. There's a lot there that you don't have to go through discomfort. You don't just have to force yourself through discomfort to be different than who you are. It's not just a choice between being uncomfortable or being true to you. There's actually a potential for progress and healing where you become different and you are comfortable being you in a new and different way. That's what we're holding the space for in this container. Any other questions? If you haven't worked with me before or interacted with me much before, you can check out the Client Love highlight on my Instagram page, which is @the Divine Goddesses. And I've done a couple posts on Facebook and Instagram talking about the container. You can shoot me your email, and you can go to www.ericamhaines.com and check out my website. That's a great way to learn about me. I always forget about that because that's new. You can shoot me a message from there. And yeah, any questions you have, if you're interested, but you want to talk about it, if you have some hesitations, if you need a different link, I also have Zelle or Venmo available. But this link here will set you up with making the donation so that we can get you in and get started. If there's not any other questions, I'm going to go. I still have a post. Yeah, I still have that post I want to do on Instagram story and post. And I meant to do one more post to finish up the series that I'm doing right now on YouTube here. The Relational Awareness series, which is questions about your childhood and how you learn to love that are written. They come from Esther Perel. All right. I'm going to seal this off. We're going to close this up. Closing your eyes. Whether you're standing or sitting, take a deep breath in. Connect with your heart. Maybe you see a color, a shape, some sort of motion, movement of the energy in your heart. Whether you're standing or sitting, I think you can probably bring a little bit of a circular motion to your hips, just sort of swaying side to side or rocking in circles, rocking side to side, back to forth, whatever feels right for you. And let's come into connection with the womb center, placing your hands on the uterus, underneath the belly button, that whole belly area there. Sending some love to the fallopian tubes, the ovaries. Sending just some connection between your hands and the womb. You can stop moving your hips if you like. Maybe it feels good to rub the low back as a way to get in touch with that energy center, the sacrum, and the womb. And with awareness of your womb, just like notice that magnetic energy there, that connection to the magnetic core of the earth, that groundedness that we can find in our legs and in our womb, that strength that we hold there, that power. And then bringing your awareness and maybe even your hands up to your waist, and just feeling your waist and your belly, this whole stomach area, and just giving it love. Just noticing the natural curvatures of your body, the sensation of your hands touching your own body. Wrapping your arms around you and giving yourself a nice hug. Reminding yourself that you are safe. You tell yourself you are safe. You are loved. Giving yourself a little pat on the back for showing up here, showing up in your relationships, showing up in your life, showing up at your job, your work, showing up in the world, showing up for your evolution. Let your spine lengthen. Let the energy channel that travels through every chakra that's going from your root down to the core of the earth, let it just flow through your body, up and down, circularly feeding into itself, spiraling, crisscrossing up and down. Constant, replenished. Then open your palms again, receiving from the heavens. The divine energy descends upon you, opening your heart to receive more, gathering up all the energy you can with your palms, bringing it to your third eye and placing that energy onto your third eye so that it can transfer into the pineal gland between the two hemispheres of the brain, igniting your intuition, your intellect, your wisdom and connection. Trace that connection between the heavens, the divine above, and the crown of your head, giving yourself a little blessing, tapping your fingers, the crown of your head, like you're wearing a crown of gold or thorns or gems or flowers. Deep breath in, sighing it out. And you can probably feel that you're lit up now. You can probably feel yourself as an angel or a goddess kind of a figure. You can feel that your light and your magnetism are increasing and spreading. Taking that energy that you're conducting at center and spreading it out to the edges of your body, to the surroundings in your world. Bringing light and love to the home that you're in. Bringing a little bit of grace, maybe a little bit of forgiveness to all the people you interact with. Just dwell for a moment in this energy in silence. And invite the divine feminine in. See how she enters you. In what color, what hue, what sensation. Cloaked and robed in the divine feminine. Get ready to walk back into your day. You can just sort of see yourself in a vision with your eyes still closed. See yourself floating and walking so smoothly, spreading beauty and love. And then just slowly, slowly, you can start to open your eyes, blinking, looking around a little bit, side to side. Oh, it's 4:44. To me, that means protection. Which is a little secret. That's what the white candle's for. That's what we need. Protection. Okay. I love you. Thanks for being here. Do what I said. Follow all those tendrils of inspiration. And I'll talk to you soon.